Well, hey, happy. So we figured out it's Wednesday before we started. Thanks to Aditya for knowing the days of the week. I really appreciate him being here. But also a big shout out to Aditya for being here because he is representing appwrite, and we are going to talk about some of the wonderful features that appwrite has introduced in the 1.7 release that is coming up. Is it available yet? Tell us about it. And welcome, by the way. This is our first stream together. I'm excited.
Yeah. This is definitely the first time I am joining your Twitch, Jason, and I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah, this should be
We're going
fun.
to be
Tell
talking
us a
a
little
lot
bit about
about
1.7. Yeah.
yes, for sure. So with appwrite 1.7, I know we had a big announcement last week, and 1.7 is already available to self-host. That it had been available for the last week or so now. What we have done is we've started extending 1.7 features on appwrite Cloud as well. So right now, while we do maintain a waitlist for sites, we have made available some of our other features like dev keys, file tokens, newer image formats, and so on. So the 1.7 rollout has begun on cloud. And if someone does want to jump the queue to play around with sites, it is very much possible to already self-host it.
Which we're gonna kind of play around with today. That was the plan. I've been super excited for sites. I host all of my stuff over for Show. The hosting site that will not be named, but we all know it rhymes with Smurset, Toyota Tercel. But I've been really excited. You guys were talking about this last year at Render. And I had told Eldad this would be a game-changing feature, and you guys spent time getting the parts of it right. I think that's the important thing, is not rushing something like this to production because you want it to work well. Can you tell us like what the whole kind of production and development process was for this feature a little bit?
For sure. I think it might be good to probably take a minute to just let folks know what appwrite sites is if they've not heard of this
Please
yet.
do.
That's probably a good place to begin, I guess. So, first of all, I think we kind of jumped into this and we've both been really excited about 1.7, the new appwrite announcement. And I think we just skipped introductions for a second.
I think we might have. Aditya, your little title over there does say who you are, but why don't you give everybody a little bit of an intro to yourself, here, bud?
I'll just take a quick minute on that.
Okay.
I'm really glad to be here, by the way, once again.
Me too.
I am Aditya. I work at the team at appwrite, which is an open source backend as a service platform, which is now really expanded into a much larger platform for all developers now, in fact. I've been here for over 3.5 years now, and I am a part of our developer relations team, which means I get to work with our community, play around with all the latest tech out there, see how we can make new frameworks and new languages work better with appwrite. I also get to stay involved in a lot of events, any of our community initiatives and programs like the appwrite Heroes, which is how Jason and I have been working together.
There it is. I wore the hat just for you.
I'm so grateful for that. So we're both talking a bit of appwrite today. You've got the cap, I've got the t-shirt.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
I'm actually a little sad. I left my hoodie in an Uber. I think at Commit Your Code last year. Yeah, I'm like very distraught about it, but I had to tell you, I had to rip the Band-Aid off. I've been internalizing that for a while, and I didn't have the heart.
I tell you what, just send me a message on Discord. We'll sort you out.
We'll get a new one. Yeah. All right. Well, it's great. It's great to have you here. I see a bunch of people in the chat, including one of my former fellow heroes, Nishant, who is now a appwrite team member, which is awesome. Love that. It's great to see you. Let's talk a little bit about what we're going to do today. We wanted to deploy. I wanted to show the product to people that maybe aren't super familiar with it. And I wanted to showcase a product like Astro, which I'm not super familiar with, but honestly, we have a few people in the community that use it a lot, specifically Ryan Fuhrer, who's always pushed Astro to me. James Quick talks about it a lot. And Chrissy one of our fellow appwrite heroes was also mentioning it last week. So I was very intrigued by the simplicity of how you can build with Astro. Have you used it yet at all?
A little bit here and there. I'll be honest. I've not built full-fledged applications with Astro yet, but I've had the chance to try out a few existing apps and a few templates. Try to kind of work around with those, and I will say for any content-first websites, Astro is an absolutely wonderful option to look at. It's quick, it's easy to work with. It is very, very human friendly with how it works with markdown content. So I think if someone here is trying to host their blogs, their documentation, stuff like that, and they want a quick little solution out of the box, Astro offers quite a lot of value.
Yeah, super, super robust. I had my wonderful friend Gemini here put up some bullet points for me just so I had some specific talking points. Honestly, I learned more about Astro just doing that. But you mentioned a lot of like the ease of use, and that's one that really reaches out to me, especially for a newer developer. Something that you can just spin up, and the template availability. They've got a very robust template marketplace, if you will. The community is very behind that and make a lot of templates available. The simplicity and ease of use, and it's language agnostic, or framework, excuse me. So you can use anything, React or Vue, Svelte even with it. So it's pretty cool. So what we're going to do, in what I thought made sense, was just to build something really quick with that and showcase some of the features of appwrite. We'll put together a small database. We can use auth, which is also available. And then we can deploy this thing. And I'll go ahead and show how easy it is to at least get a template started in your terminal there with Astro. Let's see. Should just be that, right? Astro at latest. Maybe I have to put together. Oh, look at that. Spoiler alert. I already.
One thing we can do here, just as a thought, is that we can bring down the banner, which has the link, because I think that's covering the terminal a bit.
Oh, yeah, that would be helpful. Good call. See, that's why I have you here. That's why I like you, Aditya.
Yeah,
maybe that.
Just been doing this for way too long, and probably you can zoom in a little bit, so that way it's easier for anyone.
It needs to be zoomed in more. All right, hang on. Let me switch windows because I do have the other one open. There we go. That should be better.
Awesome.
All right. So again, I already have one built, but we can just go through this and show how quick it is. We don't need the repo right now. But that's pretty much it. It's going to put your whole file tree together, set up the welcome page, any sort of CSS styling in a basic file is already set. And then you can add anything to this, your tailwinds, et cetera, for any customization you want to do. But that's literally it. From here, we would just npm install our appwrite and then set up the files, which again, I've gone ahead and already done. That's a lot of the back end stuff isn't glamorous. There it is. That's it. So
I really appreciate that with the Astro CLI, with their setup. What they've done is that they've included two templates, one for blogs and one for documentation with Starlight.
Yes,
because there's extremely popular use cases, and I know for a fact that Starlight has been getting more and more adoption as well, because if I'm not wrong, I think Cloudflare actually adopted Starlight for their documentation.
I believe you are correct. It's doing this thing. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Probably you're just in the wrong directory.
No, I removed the package JSON and the node modules so that I could reinstall everything fresh.
I see.
Because maybe I am.
So yeah, you probably need to restore that, because the package lock you can remove, the package and the node modules, I think the package.json you might still need to keep, because it's going to contain all the necessary scripts, right?
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that then.
Been there.
Yeah, good. Go me.
Did you, by any chance, push it to GitHub? Because
No,
you
I
could.
didn't push it to GitHub because we were going to do that like live. So I was like, I'll just save it. That's cool though. That's totally fine. How do we revert this back? Here, see, I'm learning today. Live coding.
You know, I've been there. I
Yeah.
get exactly what you mean.
So here,
What you
let's
can
see.
try doing is just run the npm init command. They actually have a manual setup guide on how you can do that. So
Yeah,
I'm
I
I'm
am
gonna link you
looking
to that,
right
so you can run the
now.
npm init command. Just configure these details. I think the defaults are probably good to begin with anyway.
Yeah, reversing the yeah. I'm looking through some instructions here. Yeah, see the that was not smart on my part.
So right.
Cool. Look at this. See, this is live. This is the fun part. I wonder if
If you want to take a look, I've sent you something in the private chat, and I think that might get you going quickly.
that would be good. Let's see. Oh, nice. Okay. Oh yeah,
I
here.
actually appreciate that the Astro documentation contains
Hell
a
yeah.
manual setup guide aside from just the npm create command. So you may still need to run the npm init command
Yeah.
through till the end, because um, just the and like I just press enter on
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yeah, it's gonna set up a package.json for you.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Test command. Do we need a test command?
You can just
Don't have a get. Don't need keyword. Don't need any of this stuff. Sure. Okay. So now we have our package.json file back. Do we have any duplicates? I don't see any dupes. Okay.
so now what you do is you just replace the scripts with what you had copied earlier.
Oh, yeah. So now we go back here to scripts.
You may also need to install the Astro package.
Oh, which one do I need to remove here? No, that was right. Do I have an extra one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need this one.
Or the one that's marked as yellow.
Oh, it's the one on the bottom is the extra one. There we go. No.
There's two extra ones. So this one in the middle after main. Now you're good to go.
Oh, gotcha. Or do I need this comma? If there's anything else? The
You'll
comma's
probably
there.
need to install the comma we can remove, but you'll probably need to install Astro one. So just an npm install Astro.
Yeah. Be helpful to spell well. All right. Oh God. See, yeah, we went down a path here.
I would recommend, if you want to take a look at the setup steps, that's probably a good way to go.
Yeah. The problem is when I deleted the node modules, I think when I removed those and did the RM for both.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think if you just remove the comma and then run the command, that should.
Okay.
There you go.
So is the comma. All right. Okay.
Now you can run the dev command probably.
We'll see.
I hope you don't have any other packages.
Oh, there we go.
There
we go. All right. Gosh, look, see, again, this is the beauty of doing this. All right, we figured it out. Let's see.
I've been there with live coding.
Look at you
get
go. You were quick on that too. All right, so this is the page. This is what we built here. It's a simple link tree clone. Again with with authorization. I got to remember which one I am here. Okay, that'll get us in. Boom. There we go. All the profile pictures are stored into appwrite, which again, I think that this is a big one now that you guys have HEIC format. Through the storage, the bucket for the images, you can control file sizes, file formats as well. But what was the reasoning behind adding HEIC format?
So the two new formats we added, HEIC and AVIF, are essentially new modern day image formats, which have a number of benefits actually. Both of them are able to retain um, a higher quality with better compression as compared to some of our older formats. And they both have a number of benefits, like AVIF is able to retain a wider color gamut, HDR support. Um, I think HEIC can maintain and can retain HDR as well as the fact that it can contain multiple images in one. So, for example, if you want something like a burst shot or a live photo maintained, HEIC is a format which supports that, which is
Nice.
something your JPEG files or your PNGs would not.
Mm-hmm.
So there are certain benefits to these. HEIC, I think, has been used substantially for a long time by the Apple ecosystem now. And yeah, they're both two relatively newer formats with a number of benefits. So
Yeah.
we're glad to be able to offer more and more choice to developers using appwrite.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I see the benefits as far as mobile since HEIC is native for iPhone camera. So
Yes.
again, that's really promising as far as from a mobile app development perspective too, to be able to include that. Let's switch over to our back end. We're going to go to the appwrite console. Now, one thing to note, and I did hear this in it last week, is the CLI commands for deployment. Are those available yet?
Let me verify on that, because I know for a fact this was in the works.
Mm-hmm.
And ideally, we should have a release for this already.
Cool.
So I am just double checking. If not, we may have an internal working CLI for this as well.
Nice. I
Yeah.
know through the console you are able to deploy, so that's not necessarily an issue, but I know some people do favor working in
We,
their terminal. So
I know what you mean. The CLI is available. Yes. So
oh,
the CLI has been updated and published, and you can download it now.
awesome. All right. So here is our project for this specific application. Like I said, we have our auth set up for users. I do have to manually verify. For some reason, the email didn't come through to me to verify this, but that's minor. Again, that's all set up. Our database was set up as well. This will hold any of the user profiles and then the links. So when you add a link here, this will populate, and then also we have what is it? Font, fabric, all the icons for each one will populate as well through a preview. Let's show, which again is all stored in the back end. Where is it? There. Boom. Right there. And then if you preview it, you'll be able to see what the basic page looks like when you were to pull it up. Once we deploy it, you'll be able to see the user's pages. So let's go back over to our console, though. I wish there was a better way to switch the windows in here. That's bugging me. Here we go.
Listen, I'll tell you what. Just while you do that, do you want to push your project up to GitHub? Because
Yes, I absolutely do. That's a really good call.
I think aside from just being able to keep track there, and I see we're already getting suggestions from folks on what more updates we can make, like
Can
with the
you please
package or
increase
JSON.
the
I'll take a look at that as well.
Yeah.
But while we do that, it'll also make it easier to deploy
I agree.
it as a site. So we can just keep it up on GitHub in the meantime.
Yeah, that's a great idea. All right, it is there. That is all set. I'm going to actually send you the link in the private channel just so you have it. Okay. Look at you.
I'm there.
Look at you. All right. All right, let's switch back over to our console. Boop, 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 boop. So it's super nice to be able to have everything here. I think just adding the sites or access to deployment right through the back end is such a nice feature. It just covers literally everything but the front end, which Astro covers. So the simplicity of just really using two tools to be able to spin something up and then have your whole back end built out and then be able to deploy it is just so easy. Jason opening package.json. Yeah, that's me. All right. So this is the interface as far as for hosting. I had my GitHub in here, so it should pop up. There it is. I like that it tells me what it is built with as well, especially if you don't remember what you named your repository. Sometimes that's really helpful. So this should just go, yeah. Am I still on the right page, by the way? Can you guys see that? Here, I'll make it bigger.
Yeah.
All right, very cool.
All
right, so what do we got to do here, D2? You walk us through this.
For now, what we're going to do is we're going to leave the name. If you're good with the name, and if you're, we're going to leave that at its default option. We're also good on the branch settings, so we can scroll further below.
Okay.
Now, I want to give a shout out to something here, and that is that when you connect this repository, appwrite detects that it is an Astro app, and if you click on that, you're going to see there's a number of options that it could have picked out of. We do detect which framework you're using, which also then accordingly sets up your build settings.
I love that.
And so these are the default build settings for an Astro app. Just a heads up though, if someone has a custom configuration that they need to add, that's totally a valid option, right? If you want to add an additional command with your install command or so on, that's something people can do. So we do allow that. You can also set up any environment variables you want at this time, but you can also do that later. So for now, we're good to go. We can just click on deploy, and that will get us going.
We see down here, this is where we could change any of the domain, but that's it. We're deploying. Here we go. Fingers crossed.
It'll work. I've been testing. I've been testing appwrite sites on this particular instance for a while now. Ooh.
So
we do need to potentially update your application a little bit here. Do you want to click on that guide?
Yeah. Do I? I would love to. Oh, we'll get it here. Okay, open.
By the way, I'm going to give you a fun little tip on this. If you just click on go to dashboard, we do actually recommend and mention how you can set that up if you need to. So just while we're here, and we're going to do a run through this in just a second, but if you click on settings once.
Yep.
And just scroll down to build settings. So that's going to tell you what adapter you need to install to use Astro's SSR or static option.
So Astro node. All right.
Yep.
And then is that what came up over here? Looks like I'm in the on-demand rendering. Server mode. What does this say? Astro node. There we go. All right. Boop. Get the command. Let's clear that out. I'm going back. Let's switch back over to our cursor so you guys can see me putting that in. I think that's the right window. You guys got my IDE up. Boom. Okay.
You may need some additional configuration after this as well. So I've within your astro.config.mjs file, that's where you'll need to make a few little updates. I have sent you a link
You
for
sent
this
it to
stuff.
me on. All right, let's see.
Yeah.
Head over to the old private. Oh yeah, that's what I have open right now. Cool.
So if you go in the manual install setting, you just need to configure the adapter there.
Oops. There we go. Okay.
By the way, one thing we might need you to change, there might be a small little update we may need you to make in the package.json file. But that can wait for once you're done with this step.
Okay. Which one is it here? This the adapter under Astro config? Yeah.
So in the manual setup
Yeah.
setting, just look at step 2.
Yeah. Okay. So let's take this whole thing. All right. Okay.
Yeah. Let's just go back to your package.json file once.
Yep.
So I think we may need to update your type field. Instead of common.js, let's change that to module.
For what? To what?
Module.
There we go. All right. All right. So let's push that update. Whoops. Update node. Boop. All right. Astro add node.
Let's go back to your appwrite site once.
Yeah.
Live coding's fun, isn't it?
It is. And I even told you yesterday, I was like, I haven't done this in like a year. So this is I'm rusty. All right. So we hit update.
We're okay on this now. Let's just go back to the overview tab. The site overview tab.
Okay.
Sorry.
Gotcha. No, you're good. Go back here.
Yep.
Okay.
Ooh, that failed as well. Let's.
So this is auto deploying when we push updates.
Yes,
as well?
it does.
That's
and
cool.
we can actually inspect what went wrong. So if you just click on that.
Whoops. Just here. Yeah.
Yeah. We've got logs. Oh, so you've got packages in this project which are yet to be installed and added to your package.json. So that's essentially just a missing import, but that's a good thing. Your build's working otherwise. All we need to do is install appwrite, the appwrite SDK up there. So an npm install appwrite should sort that out.
Yep, I got that. All right, updated appwrite. All right, we're syncing those. Let's go back over, figure out where that window went on my screen. All the windows are open right now. All right, we'll come here. There it is. Is that up on my screen? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. By the way, you can actually click and watch those logs as they.
Okay. All right. Fingers crossed, everybody. That's third time's the charm, right? Ask the Bills. Ask the Buffalo Bills. Too soon? I live in Western New York, so it's fine.
I see. Not my sport, but I'll cheer for you all.
You don't have to, I promise. I'm not a Bills fan. It's fine.
I see. Okay.
Hey,
that worked. So we can visit your site now.
There it
is.
That
deployment's been successful.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and drop this in so you guys can check it out. It's in the chat there. That Amazing. Is live. So outside of my screw ups, hypothetically, if somebody has just their site is ready, it's operating locally, everything's fine, all their dependencies are installed and their package.json is correct. Couple seconds, that's it. You just assign the GitHub repository to it, deploy, and it's just auto building out on the back.
Absolutely, yes. And so the reason we and you can select the branch here as well for your GitHub repository. Um, but if if you do that and you just push a commit to your GitHub repository, it's going to automatically deploy. There's actually another cool feature that I want to show you is that if you create a pull request on that repository, it'll also create deployments for those. It won't activate them, but you can actually preview them for changes here as well.
Do you want to create a PR real quick? Do that.
Absolutely. So if you want to go back from the deployment to your site, I'm going to make a PR now, just a quick PR, and let's see what happens. What page should I change here for you?
You change whatever you like. You tell me. I'm actually going to open up. We'll show the GitHub, and I'm over in PRs. You surprise us here.
Okay. I'm going to try something.
Preview deployments. Let's see. No pressure. I mean, there's tons that could be done, so.
No, I'm going to nice this.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll keep things nice. So there is one pull request coming your way now.
All right, here we go. Let's see. There it is. Update index page.
So now that we have a pull request, do you want to go back to your appwrite site?
Yes. Okay. Boop.
Thanks, Roxy.
Boom. All right.
I feel like I've made quite a few fiascos on.
Yes,
Yeah.
honest. I was legit thinking about the ChatWrite application when you cracked that on me real fast. That was funny. Aditya is the chillest dude ever.
So I cannot actually. So it doesn't let me create a preview because I'm not a part of your appwrite organization, which is a great security measure. Do you want to add a further commit to just that same pull request once, or just make a change there? Because ideally, if you commit, that should work.
Okay. I am.
But that's a great security measure that we've got.
Oh,
It totally slipped my mind because I've just been working on a number of my own projects and testing these. I totally forgot about that. But that actually ensures that you don't see a lot of builds on your site because you got spammed, which unfortunately does happen with open source projects sometimes.
It's very
sad,
true.
it's difficult, but we like to make sure that we want to support the developer here as much as possible. And once we get that PR up, I'm going to take you through a number of cool features that we've got with appwrite sites.
Did my GitHub disappear from the screen?
We've got your appwrite site.
Oh, no, there it is. Oh, yeah, you guys are still on sites. I just lost my window here. We're good.
That's all right. In the meantime, what I'll do is I'll keep an eye out in the chat, just see what folks are chatting about.
Yeah.
I do appreciate the shout outs, by the way. Thank you. Thanks, Roxy. Thanks, Ghibli Magic. Appreciate those.
Everybody in the chat today is super chill. Learner's here. I haven't seen Learner in a while, too. Great to see you. Yeah, Tessa confirms you are, in fact, 100% chill. I agree with that. You are also a huge sneakerhead, which I totally appreciate. How do I reopen? Yeah, I got to reopen this because I hit the wrong thing. There we go.
I mean, you could just create a new PR as well if you want.
Yeah.
Either way works. Whatever is quicker and easier for you.
Oh, it's failing a check. That's why. Hold on.
That was the older one.
Yeah.
So we're okay on that.
Yeah. Wow. Where does my GitHub keep going? I keep switching windows here, and What's the new? Oh, here we go. Did you put another one in? Because it's not approving it.
Sorry, what is it not approving?
It's not approving the. So it's failing a check.
Yeah, so if you just push a commit, I think that should sort things out.
All right. Allegedly. Let's see. Oh, now it said it failed to execute the Git. Why? Why is it doing that?
So I think it's just that I've made a fork and pushed it, but there's another way you can do things. So if you go back to Git, you can just authorize my PR in any way.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
But that's where it's giving me confirm merge.
Oh, I see.
There. Now it worked. Okay, it said it merged and closed. So
we didn't need.
See, now it's building.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we did not need to merge it at that moment. But that's okay for now.
That was the only option that would work, so that worked. I'm okay with it.
I see.
What's that?
I'll tell you what though, because after this is successful, we'll have another ready build anyway, so that should be all right to get us to preview. But
yeah,
the cool thing is that even if a deployment is not activated, just that it's ready, and this one is activated now.
How easy is it to roll back a deployment? Is that built in
Good
here
question.
as well?
So if you just go back to the last page that you were at, you'll notice instant rollback there.
Oh yeah, okay, very cool.
Yeah,
that's handy.
And so if you click on that, you can roll back to the last deployment that was working. So you can do that and it'll happen instantly. Because what we do is that we maintain these, we retain these deployments that you've made, right? And unless you delete them. And so the last active one that you had, you can instantly roll it back to, it'll just switch the deployment, the previous deployment with the current one, and it'll be up and running in absolutely no time. It won't need you to rebuild or do anything there. It'll instantly switch that in.
Yeah, that's very convenient, especially for people like myself. So
yeah, and I'll tell you what, there's another thing. So if you click on the ready deployment, not the one that's active,
right here.
So the active deployment is the one that you've got access to right now, right? But if suppose you create a pull request or any authorized contributor and you just want to look at it before you activate it, you get a link where you can do that. So that domain you see up there is a preview link that you've got. And the only people who can actually access this link are members of the organization. So it's meant to be secure. It's meant to only remain with authorized members of your organization. You can just scan this QR on your phone. So right now, if someone else who's not a part of this organization tries to scan this and use it, they're not going to be able to.
Yeah, it's asking me to sign in. I like that. Another added layer of security.
Absolutely. There's a few other great features that I want to take you through.
Yeah, let's do it.
If we just go back to the last page. That's a good place for us to begin, by the way. So just as a quick little catch up on this is going to be the overview page for every site. It features your domains. So if you click on the +3, you may see a few other domains there as well, which appwrite auto generates for you. Just on the overview tab. We'll go to domains.
+3.
Yeah. So you're going to see a branch in a commit URL, which is essentially spun up for deployments made from GitHub. So every commit that you make from GitHub can have one of those URLs.
Okay.
And so can every branch. So the branch URL remains consistent for all deployments made on a specific branch. it'll always point to the latest one on that branch. The commit URL will vary for each deployment that's
Oh,
pushed.
yeah.
Yeah, and
So
that's
that's a
actually
unique
really handy.
identifier for each one.
Exactly.
Nice.
The other cool thing that I wanted to show here is just try clicking on GitHub under source once. So you can now look at exactly which repository, which branch, and which commit this deployment is created from, and you can directly access those from here. So if you click on one of those, you'll end up going back to GitHub.
There it is. Look at that.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's actually pretty handy. I mean, when you're working with a big number of a big project, lots of commits, it lets you track your deployments by commit as well. You know exactly what change has been pushed if you just click on that. Makes it a
Yeah,
little easier.
that's super handy. Oh, we're not I got to go to the deployed
That's all right.
page. I switched. Yeah, that's very convenient though. What are some other considerations as far as the hosting from your perspective? It's available for self-hosting, correct? Not available for
Yes.
cloud. Yes.
So on cloud, what we have is a waitlist right now, and we're slowly rolling out sites because um, we expect to have a massive surge of usage the moment sites goes out for everyone. So we're just taking our time rolling it out, just making sure that appwrite cloud remains robust and continues for functioning through this. And if anyone signs up to appwrite right now, if they've got a project, they can just go to the sites tab and get themselves waitlisted. So that's as simple as a click of a button for anyone who's signed into appwrite cloud. But if you're self-hosting, that's available right now. You just need Docker configured on your system or on any external VM or VPS that you're using, and that should be a single command that gets you at least ready to play around.
And as far as self-hosting goes, the all the walkthroughs or the documentation is available right
The
there on
experience is
the site.
consistent. Yeah. Documentation is available already. The experience is consistent. So you may need to do some extra configuration to, let's say, set up the whole GitHub integration on your local instance. You won't have to do that on cloud because we already have a GitHub app for that. But other than that, it's going to be a fairly consistent process, and you're not going to really have to worry about a lot more after that. Let's just go back to the site because there are a few site specific features that are really helpful and cool.
Heck yeah,
that I want to focus on. So now on the tabs that we see, right next to overview, we've got deployments. You can also find all your deployments here. You can filter deployments based on, let's say, if you just want to look at your active status deployment or any already deployments, so you've got filters there. You also get some metrics for these deployments, so you can check how many builds are available, what's the average build time, how many are successful, how many failed, stuff like that, which is good information to have.
Definitely.
Right?
We're 50% so far.
Yes.
I'll take it.
And yeah, you can just enable what columns you want to see here, stuff like that. Just to make sure your console looks the way you want it to look.
And that'll stay if I log out. That stays static.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus, the other thing you can do is if you click on create deployment up here. So suppose you have a GitHub repository connected, you can just trigger a deployment based on your production branch at any given moment. With the CLI and the manual options, the CLI option will give you a command that you can run that gets your project up and running. And with the manual option, you can just upload a tarball of your source code. So it covers all the different, yes.
Out here as an option where
Yeah,
you can
exactly.
just drag and drop.
You see the just down there, you see manually, right? And so it lets you do the same thing for your application as well.
Wow.
Let's go back to the site once.
Yeah.
Now, if you click on logs up there, every single request that is made to your project, any HTTP request to any path on this project will get logged here. So if suppose you click on one of these, click on login, for example. Yeah. So you get to see any parameters that were sent in this request. You see the host header. If any headers are missing, you can actually manually log them as well.
Wow.
Plus, if suppose this is an SSR application and you have any console log or console errors set up on your server-side routes,
Hmm.
those are available in the responses section. So
Wow.
those get logged there if and you can go back and look at these later on as well.
Yeah. Well, that's super handy. I like that. What would
Absolutely.
when we were talking, where was it, under deployments here, what
Yeah.
would be a use case, like where would somebody come in here and then just create a deployment? Like, what would be a specific example of where that would be something that I would do?
So, for example, you've made a change to your configuration, you've maybe updated the timeout, for
Hmm.
example, or you've added an environment variable. You could either redeploy or you could manually trigger a deployment from here. And like, for example, if you just click on Git, that's going to deploy the latest commit on your selected production branch. So in times like that, it can be handy, right? Like if you've made a configuration change, you don't want your source code to be updated just to test it out. I saw Tessa's message there as
Yeah,
well.
so did I. So did I. Shout out to
See,
Tessa, by the
yeah,
way.
I
It's great
will
to
say
see her.
though, and I don't know if this is just me, but from day one, appwrite light mode has always looked a little better.
It
I
does have
love
a
dark
special
mode.
place in my heart.
It's just we do light mode really well for a change. It's rare to find that a lot of apps. I think we do it exceptionally well. So for some reason, I mean my excuse is that I'll keep it on light mode just for screenshots for blogs, but I really like our light mode. Uh,
So, full disclosure, I have been using it in light mode a lot more often because
Same.
I actually have this obnoxious glare over on this side of my screen. And in light mode, it's not as bad. But when I have it in
Yeah.
dark mode, I can't see anything. So I've been switching a lot of stuff back over to light mode now, except for my
Mhm.
IDE, because I put that on the left side of my screen. Um,
My ID is always dark mode. I can't do away with.
yeah.
That's not changing. But and this is probably for most other applications. It's just AppWrite is my exception. I like using AppWrite in light mode.
I
Um,
do like appwrite light mode. It's like eggshell.
I tell you what, we're gonna go back to light mode. I'm gonna cheer for light mode right now. Um,
I mean, you guys are open source. Somebody could accidentally
Justice for
approve a
light mode. That should be a
PR
hashtag
to
right now.
terminate dark mode.
I feel like if someone takes a screenshot here and just starts posting hashtag justice for light mode, that's gonna be
Oh, I like
hilarious.
that. That's right. Let's start it.
It'll be funnier if we go back to light mode and they start posting justice for dark mode. So we've got both
Maybe
options.
someday.
We've got both
That's
options.
true. That's true. So, all right. Back to sites. Back to the sites.
Yes.
What are some other things that, now that 1.7 is coming out, when is cloud? When are you guys thinking cloud's going to be fully released?
So we've
What's the
been trying to
timeline?
make sure we're able to do this by the end of this week.
Hmm.
It's really on top priority right now. There's enough people actively working on this. We are ensuring that this is done as soon as possible because we have plans for AppWrite Cloud as soon as sites is out.
Hmm.
Like I don't want to say much, but
Come on, give us a little tease. Give us
hackathon,
a little tease.
hackathon. That's what I'll say for now.
Oh yeah, I think you guys did talk about that a little bit last week in it. So rolling out sites and making sure that that's ready to go for a very large hackathon. What up, dog? Would be phenomenal. Outside of that, what does AppWrite have coming down the pipeline in the next couple months? Give us a little teasy tease of what people can expect. I want people to start getting on the platform, signing up. I know a lot of people have already tried it out, but for anybody that hasn't, what else is coming?
So I know for a fact that there are a lot of plans to upgrade what we're doing with databases. We're going to see a number of databases, focused features coming in. I actually have a call about that internally tomorrow to kind of start figuring out what we're doing. So databases, we're going to see a number of improvements. Plus, there's some other stuff, but I'm going to keep that secret for now. It is
Oh,
massive, it is exciting, and I can't wait to share more about that, but we're going to keep things secret.
so she wants to finish her handstand tracking app, which I
Oh,
believe she's using appwrite on the back end for user info. Love that. And now I can deploy it. There we go. Oh, see, it's over on Netlify. It's a great reason to bring it over. It's a perfect reason. Aditya, I sent you a message over in the private chat if you want to look at that.
I just saw.
Okay. He's checking. Meanwhile, what's your next shoe purchase, bud?
Oh, I just made one.
I know, but what's your next one? I'm already thinking ahead.
I'm still yet to get that shoe in my hands.
Oh, you haven't got it yet. Okay.
So it's with my brother in Toronto right now. I'm going to be visiting there early July.
You're going to be in Toronto? I'm only a couple hours from Toronto. Oh, man.
Because I've been chatting with Vincent about this. We might catch up. I'm thinking of planning a little dinner with other fellow developers, folks in DevRel, still figuring stuff out. I got my tickets yesterday. So my flight tickets just got done yesterday. So still very, very early, but yeah, I want to plan something out.
Yeah, you definitely should, and keep me posted. Obviously, shoot me a message because I would love to meet up. That would be cool. 'Cause Toronto is not far, my friend. I found out that we're getting dunks for render in a couple weeks, like the team. So that's pretty cool. I'm very excited. I cannot remember what the colorway is though. I have a super fancy passport now. Not really. Yeah, so I'm very excited. I haven't got a new pair of like good shoes in a while because all I wear is Crocs now. Oh, that's not true. Here, actually, I'm gonna show. I know. Hold on a sec. I'm gonna get them.
By the way, I think for my next shoes,
you'll appreciate these.
Jason and
I have not worn these yet.
Which ones are those?
But I know you're also a sucker for packaging. So check this out. It was a Puma.
Oh.
Look at this box. It's like 3 pizza boxes.
I love it. It's ooh.
Gets better. Hold on.
Is that a Mike edition?
Oh, it fell out.
I think it fell out.
Yeah, the pizza fell out. Oh, boy, that would be a mess. So it's got this. But I got to show you.
So cool.
Holy crap.
That is so cool.
Tessa, I totally need pizza as well. Look at this. All these different laces that came with them. But here we go.
Oh, damn. That's so nice.
Oh, yeah. That's one. So it's got the 2 colors on it. And then here's the other one.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
With
I kind of figured when I saw 2 on the one.
Yeah. You just Atarva just had pizza. That's hurtful.
I want to have pizza. This is not fair. This is absolutely not fair. Now I feel like I want to have pizza, but
well, you should go get pizza. And we're
at night.
Oh yeah,
if I have pizza.
It's super late. I keep forgetting it's like 11 something now. I will not give you those shoes, Jeff. But you can buy your own. Well, I want to shout out everybody in the community. I see Nishant here, one of the homies from appwrite. Tessa's here, Roxy, Jordan, Jeff, Sebastian's here, Atharva. Thanks for stopping by. Everybody else, Janet, I saw you in there. Big shout out to everybody over at appwrite. Back-end product that now you can deploy with It's just everything. When is the front end builder coming out? That's the next thing, isn't it? 1.8 is the V0 type tool, and then you just have everything from thoughts, from copy to deployment, all the way around. It's coming. Be honest, you know it is.
I'm at this point we're moving so fast. I have no idea what's coming.
Well, it's a good problem to have. It's a good problem to have. You
No, I'm
got to
doing
keep
amazing work. Like I know that there are a few things that I'm going to be aware of, and then any given day, I check in with a certain team member and hear about what they're doing, and it just blows your mind sometimes with how much our team has on their plates, and it's all amazing stuff. So I'm really excited for what we've got coming up in the next few months, because we're going to make things so much better for developers in our community. It's I'm really excited for this.
I love it. Well, hopefully a couple more people log into appwrite and check out everything that it's got to offer for your databases and storage needs and authorization and just about everything. And now deployment. Thank you to Aditya, my fellow sneakerhead here. It's always a pleasure to hang out with you, my friend. Thank you for also bailing me out with some helpful links to some documentation so we could actually get this thing up and running. That was amazing. It's like,
you want to know what my biggest horror story is with a live session?
Yes.
So I was once speaking at a virtual conference, and so I wanted to change my volume settings, and I pressed the wrong button, and I sent my system off to sleep.
Oh, well, yeah, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. But
once you've done that, nothing else phases you.
That's
this
true.
was, I think, this was probably 4 years back now. Been a while. But once you've done that,
you're a veteran now. You're a veteran now.
Yeah, a bit of live coding really doesn't phase you.
No, that's true. Well, this was super fun. We'll have to do this again, maybe for the next release. When you guys have something else cool, we can
do stuff before that as well. We could just do some live coding here.
We could. I gotta shake the dust off a little bit. That was rough, but it was fun. Thanks. Love to see how easy it is with Astro. Yes, Astro is definitely a tool I'm going to be kind of experimenting with.
I'm going to play around a lot more with it as well, because for content heavy websites, I know what we do at appwrite right now for our blog and so on is our whole setup is SvelteKit based, and we've integrated MarkDoc with it. And MarkDoc is a content authoring setup which uses Markdown essentially. It was developed by Stripe for their documentation. So it lets you write Markdown, but also you can create your own tags and components that you can include in it, which is great. But I want to check out Astro and see how well that works actually, because I think what MarkDoc lets you do is MarkDoc is going to integrate with any framework. Astro kind of comes with this out of the box, right? So Astro is focused on such use cases, but that's probably the big difference. But I want to try it out. I want to play around. I want to see what more we can do here.
Yeah,
that sounds amazing, Sarah. Awesome.
Look at that. There you go. Yeah. See, coming through in the clutch. Love that. Thank you for that, amazing. Sarah. Love it. All right,
Jason, we didn't try one thing, and we didn't deploy a template. Do you want to try that right now? Because that's going to be immediate. And I know for a fact we've got a number of Astro templates we can do that with.
Yes. What do we have? Where do you want me to go? You tell me where to go.
Yeah, I'll do that. Just by the way, so for folks who were here in the chat, and just for the ones who were here in this chat, if you're playing around, you like this demo, you want to try appwrite, and you'd like coupon code, just send me a message. What I'm going to do is I will update my my name here on StreamYard. I'll add my Twitter handle, and just send me a message, and we'll get you some credits.
I see. There, boom, there it is. Make sure you reach out to Aditya. Tell him you were in the stream. go say hi, and he will hook you up so you can test out some appwrite features. That would be awesome. Thank you for doing that. That is fantastic. All right, so where do you want me to go? Yeah, I got to open my
So let's get you back on sites,
Yeah.
just on the page you had.
Yeah, let me get to my
Because this is going to be really quick.
Yeah.
And I love Nishant's got this energy because Nishant spends so much time getting a number of our templates ready.
I was going to say, this is his thing, right?
Big shout out to him. He's put in a lot of effort on our templates. So let's just go back to sites here and click on create site. And people are going to like this, I think. So instead of connect a repository, we'll click on clone a template now.
Boom.
And so we've actually set up a fairly big repository of templates from which you can pick and deploy. Since we're talking Astro, do you want to select Astro as the framework from there?
Yeah, I was going to just point out that there's a very robust list of frameworks here too for you to start with, which is awesome. Which ones you want? You want Starlight or Spear?
So just on framework right now, within framework, on the left side, you want to just click on Astro.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So these are the Astro templates we have. I like the documentation template. That's one that our team has built ourselves. It's a static template. In the sense we've just defined those pages, but you know what? It looks really good, and we can get it up and running. So let's go with that. Okay. So the template setup flow is a little different from the other one, where you get one of two options. You can either connect this template to a repository that you create right now, or you could choose to just connect it later on, and with that, it automatically deploys to sites, and then you just connect it later.
Okay.
You can do that from the site settings. So if you click on connect later, I feel like that's going to be a little quicker for now.
Yeah.
And you just click on deploy.
Okay.
That's going to get your site up and running.
Yeah. Wow. That is super easy.
The big benefit here is that, so the reason this is possible is because it works in a manner very similar to our manual deployments, where we just take the source code and we run the install and the build commands. And with the templates, we've tested those out, right? So when you create it, you're going to find those build commands in your settings. So right now our deployment is building. It should be done anytime. No, very soon.
Anytime now. Usually this first one's always a little bit longer. I think we're all used to that. That's right. All the hamsters.
Do you want to click on the deployment once just to see where we are in our build stage? Ooh. So this is a self-hosted instance. There's a very high chance that there's a few other deployments running right now.
There we go.
Yeah.
Looks like it went.
It can take a little bit of time sometimes just for that. But if you've got your own instance, this is a project that we've got. And so I know for a fact we're playing around on this all the time. But with your own instance, of course, it's going to be a lot quicker.
Of course. There was a lot of packages that just installed. So
that's also probably why it took a little more time. This is a much heavier project on its own.
She's going though. She's going. We're doing all right here. Great work to the whole team putting this together. I mean, the user interface on the hosting pages and just getting this up is very intuitive. But honestly, that template kind of marketplace that you put together too. Wow,
it makes life a little easier for sure. By the way, did you know that we can now just minimize the left sidebar? So,
wow. Love that too. That's clean.
It looks really good.
It does. Now let's see what it looks like in light mode.
I feel like a few people are going to go blind.
I know. Someone just drove into a ditch.
Yeah.
Like, ah.
By the way, our deployment's ready now.
There it is. Nice. It's documentation. Wow. I'm going to be totally honest. I might steal this template and use this for something.
Absolutely. That's what it's there for. And if you want to do that, let's go back to your site. we're going to go to the settings page for that.
Okay.
So on your site, just, let's click on that, click on settings. And so just connect Git repository now. So you can create a new repository here.
Oh yeah, right there. Look at that. And then build it out.
Do you want to keep this private or public? That's totally a choice.
Public for now. Oh, it failed. Why did it fail? Or did it?
I think we double clicked. So
yeah,
it just,
probably. Yeah.
So
Okay.
let's go down there. Let's do one more thing. If just back to the Git settings, actually. Further above.
Oh, further above. Other way. There we go.
Yes. So you can see your repository that's been configured. Your own account is linked there, so you can access it. Our root directory is also something you can select, but in our case, we just want to leave it at our default. But if you check your GitHub account right now, if you just click from your profile link, you should be able to just access your repository quickly there. So
yeah, it took it to, I probably just hit the wrong thing here.
But we can just go to repositories. I think that's going to be quick enough as it
is. Yeah. It'll obviously should be right at the top there. Boom, there it is.
Oh, huh. We do need to push this up. So it's created a repository here. Interesting. I'm going to take a look at this once again in just a short bit. But we may have had to just configure the root directory once. Let's just do that.
Just wait for it to oh, so, hold on. Sorry, I went back over.
We'll just save this for now.
Okay.
And update.
Okay, so that should be updated. Let's go back.
If that doesn't, it may just have been, that may be on me. I think you may have to push it up. But what you can do is you can just download the source code, or we can use the CLI to push it up. So if you want to download the source code, we just go back to the deployment that we had. This is a me thing. I think that's probably me, but I'll go check on with the team if that's what's supposed to happen. Just click on the deployment. Let's not redeploy. Let's not redeploy for now. Otherwise, you're going to get an empty repository. On the 3 dots, you see next to redeploy.
I do. I am clicking it. It's not doing anything. That could just also be my system.
Yeah, because ideally what that will let you do is it'll show you a download option and so on. And
there it goes.
Yes. So you can download the source code here.
Awesome.
And then we can just push it up to this repository that's been created.
The 3 dots have been angered. That is true. Atharva, I am so sorry. You're right. That was very unprofessional of me. I'll say
I love it.
Yeah. See, Aditya said it was fine. He said it was fine. All right.
Yeah. So what that will do is that will just download a zip file for you.
Yep.
With the entire source code. So you can just push it to that repository or any other repository you want and connect it. But I will definitely double check with the team and see if that was expected behavior.
Cool.
Because that one might be on me.
That's fine. We're all learning, but that's still on paper very, very easy. And if we're even just able to download these templates like that and then push them, it's just saving so much time. So
absolutely.
This is fantastic. We are a little over the hour. I appreciate everybody's time and hanging out with us today. Hopefully this gets you to go deploy something this weekend. We're going into the weekend, maybe build something and get it ready. So when this goes live for cloud, you've got something and you can deploy it. But feel free to reach out to Aditya for some codes to test out appwrite as well this weekend. Go build something. That's what I would say. go build. And if you don't want to build, there's plenty of templates for you to go experiment with.
Absolutely. There's a number of templates that are great to get started with. And like for example, we've got a personal portfolio template that looks really, really good, and you can just update it with your own details later on, right?
Nice.
So things like that are quite helpful to get started with. Then you can play around with them, see what sort of an app you want to build. We've got an e-commerce template up there as well. Quite a few use cases, in fact. So do
Very
check them
cool.
out.
Very cool. The team is making some amazing things over there, Aditya. I appreciate you and everybody over at appwrite, except for Dennis. That guy can kick rocks. Hopefully you guys got that clip too. They're talking about they took a clip earlier. Get that clip so I can send it to him. Yeah, where is that lazy Dennis guy? I'm sure he's still recovering. He was not feeling well last week, if I remember correctly, but
He's better now. I do believe he might be traveling today. So
likely story.
mhm.
He's always traveling. Mr. Jet Setter. All right. Well, Aditya, this has been an honor and a privilege to hang out with you, my friend. Wait a sec. I'll end the stream and I'll catch you backstage. Everybody else, I will see you tomorrow at about 1 o'clock in the Discord, the Torque Discord. We have our normal networking community event. Wait, no, that's Friday because I keep thinking today's Thursday. Tomorrow, we have our first ambassador meetup, our virtual ambassador meetup. So head to the Discord from our Torque community page. And
Also,
yeah,
if someone does want to talk more appwrite, we do have our weekly office hours tomorrow. So
there you
that
go.
might be worth joining in.
Nice.
Jason, if I can send you a link
Yeah.
for our Discord, that
Heck yeah.
would be lovely to put up.
I'm
So I've just
waiting
sent it to
for
you
it
in the
right
private
now.
chat.
Yep, I'm on it. Boom, boom. I think a lot of our friends here are already there, but if you're not,
That's
get the hell
amazing.
over there. Get the hell over there.
So we're gonna have this tomorrow. It is gonna be. It'll be what I think it'll be 12 p.m. Eastern. That's when it'll be.
Is it
It's an
12?
hour before when we started our stream today. So that's
Yes, yeah, that's
12
right.
Eastern. Yes. So that's when we'll have it.
Very good. Well, I expect to see every single one of you at the office hours tomorrow then. Join both Discords. A lot of great people, a lot of great information, a lot of great products that appwrite has. So go try it out. Thank you again, Aditya. Hang backstage for a sec, and I will
sure.
talk to everybody else later. Bye, everybody.